Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. I'm going to start with a smudge. Welcome to our annual General Assembly. For all of you that couldn't be here, but will listen to this on recording. Hi. Bonjour. Si vous n'êtes pas ici, mais que vous allez regarder l'enregistrement, je vous fais un petit coucou. Kiksun idee ko ni Denjikaz, Mechanic ni Dodem, Chico kuma Anishinabe kwe, Ami Wiyandao, Jaché Kakina. Je vous parle aujourd'hui du territoire algonquin, le territoire de mes ancêtres, le territoire cette belle terre qui nous nourrit, qui nous abrite, qui nous habille, qui prend soin de nous autres, jour après jour. Notre belle maman la terre qui est toujours là pour nous autres, peu importe ce qu'on y fait, endurer. Alors, je suis la fille de Clémence, fille de Alphonsine, fille de Célina, fille de Marie, fille de Ganastarcie et fille de Patagouache, qui veut dire celle qui porte l'eau. Alors, bienvenue tout le monde. Alors, je ne sais pas si vous avez votre agenda tout proche ou si vous voulez que je la mette sur l'écran. Je peux faire ça aussi. Non, je vais commencer par ça à la place. OK. Oups. OK. Je fais ça comme ça. Okay, so I just wanted, before we read the agenda, I just want to more introduce myself and talk to you a little bit about this organization. So the Anishinaabe Sacred Circle was first created for the water walk. I was told that if I wanted to do some fundraising and that it would and give more information, it would be better to have a website and to have a charitable organization. These were actually, it was Grandmother Josephine that suggested that to me in 2018. When we talked about me continuing to do the walk on the St. Lawrence River. So I created a corporation with two other women that are no longer part of this. They moved away. And then we went to become a charitable organization. And we have been next year, in September, it will be our 5th anniversary of being a charitable organization. So when we created this, we had to state a mission. And the mission of the corporation, as indicated in the patent letters, is as follows: to empower First Nation, Métis, and Inuit youth, women, men, and elders by facilitating talking circle and healing programs. To facilitate unification through interconnecting circles, councils, ceremonies, and gatherings, creating allies to support and understand our traditional way of life and environmental stewardship. Note, traditional First Nations teachings, strategies are spiritually based, holistic, deeply rooted in nature, and non-religious. They reinforce our values and respect rules of reciprocity. This is the way it's written in the official document that was sent to the government. So the objective of the corporation: implementing social innovation to help women identify the challenges and barriers to empower them to reclaim their independence and stability, promote and facilitate healing circles, and support programs for status and non-status First Nation, Métis, and Inuit and self-identified youth, women, men, and elders. Create and maintain a traditional circle with a common vision and understanding of a holistic healing practice for all our relations. And we created the Women Anishinabe Council. Reach and link people, organizations, and communities that propose concrete actions for the respect of nature and ecological responsibility towards the protection and well-being of Mother Earth for the benefits of future generations. Promote and facilitate circles, exchange and collaborations among these allies, organization, and community. Create partnership with community organizations to support First Nation, Métis, and Inuit families that have been impacted by intergenerational trauma, leading to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual abuse, drug and alcohol addictions, and human trafficking. Alors, lorsque nous avons, moi j'ai fondé cet organisme, le Cercle Sacré Anishinabe Sacred Circle. Dans le fond, je l'ai créé sous la recommandation de grand-mère Joséphine en 2018 pendant une marche de l'eau lorsqu'elle m'a demandé de poursuivre la marche le long du fleuve Saint-Laurent. Elle m'a dit, tu sais, tu vas avoir besoin de quelque chose de charitable, d'un organisme pour être capable de faire des levées de fonds légalement. Et puis un site web, ben, ça l'aide pour donner plus d'informations. Donc, j'ai créé, c'était la première, j'ai trouvé 2 personnes faut être 3 pour fonder une corporation. Donc, j'ai trouvé 2 autres personnes qui ne sont plus ici maintenant, ne font plus partie de l'organisme. Alors, tel qu'indiqué dans les lettres patentes, la mission de l'organisation est d'autonomiser les jeunes, les femmes, les hommes et les aînés des Premières Nations, Métis et Inuits, en facilitant les cercles de discussion et les programmes de guérison. Faciliter l'unification en interconnectant des cercles, des conseils, des cérémonies et des rassemblements, créant des alliés pour soutenir et comprendre notre mode de vie traditionnel et notre gérance de l'environnement. Remarque, les stratégies d'enseignement traditionnel des Premières Nations sont fondées sur la spiritualité holistique et profondément enracinées dans la nature et ne sont pas religieuses. Ils renforcent nos valeurs et respectent les règles de réciprocité. Les objectifs de la société: mettre en œuvre l'innovation sociale pour aider les femmes à identifier les défis et les obstacles, pour leur donner les moyens de retrouver leur indépendance et leur stabilité. Promouvoir et faciliter les cercles de guérison et le programme de soutien pour les jeunes, les femmes, les hommes et les aînés de Premières Nations, Métis et Inuits inscrits et non inscrits. Créer et maintenir un cercle traditionnel avec une vision et une compréhension commune d'une pratique de guérison holistique pour toutes nos relations. Atteindre et relier les personnes, les organisations et les comités qui proposent des actions concrètes pour le respect de la nature et la responsabilité écologique envers la protection et le bien-être de la Terre-Mère au profit des générations futures. Promouvoir et faciliter le cercle, les échanges et la collaboration entre ses alliés, organisations et communautés. Créer des partenariats avec des organismes communautaires pour soutenir les familles des Premières Nations, Métis et Inuits qui ont été touchés par des traumatismes intergénérationnels menant à la violence physique, mentale, émotionnelle et spirituelle, à la toxicomanie et à l'alcoolisme et à la traite de personnes. Je vais juste monter à numéro 3, créer et maintenir un cercle traditionnel. Alors, nous avons créé le cercle des femmes, nous avons créé un conseil, le Conseil des femmes Anishinabe. Donc, ça, c'était dans mon mot de bienvenue. C'était vraiment pour vous mettre un peu en contexte. C'est quoi le cercle Anishinabe, c'est quoi l'organisme. Alors, s'il y a quelqu'un qui veut se proposer pour prendre des notes, je pense que Diana est intéressée à faire ça. Donc, Diana va prendre les notes. So, Diana will take notes tonight. Établissement du quorum. Alors, il manque seulement qu'une personne du conseil. On est 8 personnes. Donc, on a quorum. So, we have establishing quorum. So, we have quorum. There's 7 of us out of 8. Quorum is 5. Lecture et adoption de l'ordre du jour. Read and adopt the agenda. Mot de bienvenue de la fondatrice. Élection d'une secrétaire. Non, nomination d'une secrétaire, désolé, donc c'était corrigé. Nomination d'une secrétaire, établissement du quorum, lecture et adoption de l'ordre du jour, présentation des membres du Conseil, présentation et adoption des États financiers, activités en 2023-2024, activités à venir et Varia. Et dans Varia, j'ai rajouté acceptation des nouveaux membres et levée de l'Assemblée. So, words of welcome by founder, nomination of a secretary, establishing quorum, read and adopt the agenda, introduction of the members of the council, presentation and adoption of the financial statement, 2023-2024 activities for 2024 and 2025. Other business, I added acceptance of new members and closing of the Assemblée. Does anybody want to add anything to other business? Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui veut rajouter quelque chose à Varia? Alors, j'ai besoin de quelqu'un pour approuver, proposer. Kim propose. Quelqu'un pour approuver Catherine Rose? Okay. Okay. So, introduction of the members of the council. So, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. On va commencer. Ben, c'est Carole qui est à côté de moi, fait que Caro.
Ojigaba Ikwe Nin Diginicals. Ah non, c'est pas vrai. Ça a changé. Ojigaba Ikwe Nin Wawashkishi Dodem Wangoma Anishinabe Kwe non, Gatnu and Dayan Liz Tajidanis Alma Tajidanis Azilia Tajidanis Zénaïde Tajidanis, moi, c'est ça, ça fait longtemps que je suis sur le chemin rouge et quand on a demandé de créer, de vouloir créer un conseil, mais je me suis portée volontaire. J'étais très intéressée, là. Ça m'a appelée.
Merci, Carole. Suzanne? T'entends pas, ma belle Suzanne.
Oui, c'est important d'enlever le unmute. Kwekwe tout le monde. Suzanne Nindijnikaz, Mikanak Nidodem, Anishinabe Kwe, Claire Tajidanis, Emma Tajidanis, Amanda Tajidanis. Je suis super contente d'être ici. Comme tout le monde le sait, là, ça part quand même d'assez loin. Moi, j'ai rencontré Quorum pour la première fois, si je ne me trompe pas, en 2012. Et à partir de ce moment-là, j'ai commencé, en fait, j'étais déjà sur le chemin rouge, mais c'est ça. En fait, j'ai entendu pour la première fois Coco me parler de l'eau, puis j'ai été tout de suite très émue et très touchée pendant ce week-end-là et ça a changé tout mon parcours après ça. Et je suis très contente d'être ici aujourd'hui.
Merci, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne. Diana?
Mino tibigad kakina, mino de makwa ikwe, anendish nakaz, jalagi kwe. Wondering Willow Tajidanis, Christina Tajidanis, Liliane Tajidanis, Golda Tajidanis, Amanda Tajidanis. I'm not sure how long I've been coming to ceremonies with Quorum, but I think it's been 2-3 years now. Thanks to my best friend Carol, who introduced us. And I'm extremely happy to to have her in my life and the organization and all of my sisters, both in the organization and the circles and the ceremonies. And I am not yet a water walker. Maybe someday when my body is in better condition. But yeah, but I participate in other ceremonies like the my favorite right now happens to be the fast and the vision quest in May, for which I have a 4-year. I've taken a 4-year commitment and I've completed one. Anyway, I am very proud to be part of this organization, and I hope to follow it through. And I can't wait to see where we're headed. Quick, migwetch.
Thank you, Diana. And you know, I think we skip all this COVID years because you were coming to Cercle before. So I think at least 5 years, at least minimum. Sure. Catherine Rose?
Hi. Makwa Odeyekwe, Anishinabe Kwe, Louise Tajidanis, Wawashkenes Dodem. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while since I used that way of introducing myself, and I'm going to have to practice a bit more. I'm always happy to join Quorum Francine with what her vision is, because I feel like we have the same kind of vision. I'm very happy to be in this organization because I think it's needed. I think that we have to step up to the plate and help each other, and this is just another way of helping each other. I'm really grateful for all the different ceremonies and gatherings that you put together, that we put together here as a group, but that comes straight from Quorum. A lot of work, a lot of hard work. I want to say thank you, migwetch. Lots of gratitude, because I know how hard you work for this, and I know that it's we all come and we get the benefit. We work too, but we get the benefit of all the hours that you put on for all of this work. You know, all the thought that goes into just even the mission statement. Wow, you know, there's a lot of thought there, a lot of heart, a lot of connection. So thank you so much, and I'm very grateful and honored to be here. I hope.
You know, sometimes when people move around in the screen, now Kim, you're all the way up there. So Kim, you're next.
Kakina. Well. Wagoshin nin mahigan do dem nabishkiwa. Anishinabe Kwe, Ottawa, and Diane. Noela Tajidanis. Oral Tajidanis. I don't know really what to say. I started ceremony mid-late 90s. Great Spirit led me to the person in Toronto where I was living. I ended up moving downstairs from him. Didn't know him at the time. Then I moved back to Ottawa. And it was really hard to connect. I kept going back to Toronto to do ceremony. Ça me manquait, là, tu sais. C'est par l'entremise d'un workshop que j'ai été invitée chez Quorum pour la première Full Moon Ceremony. Ça fait une couple d'années de ça, là. Puis, you know, if I look back on how I've been guided on the red road to find the people I needed to find, I could not have planned it myself. So I am very grateful. Migwetch Quorum, Migwetch Great Spirit, Migwetch Kakina, Aho.
Aho. Which Kim? Lorianne.
Ani Bojo, Abtababunangus Indigenakas, Mikanak Nendodam, Neashining Ming Nindunjaba, Giwedna, Nyabino, Giwedno, Aquasasni, Dada, Anishinabe, Kwe, Odid Wamni, Wamdagash, and Dow. So, you know what, I don't really remember when I started on the path, but I would say doing like, I didn't perform, but I attended full moon ceremonies and I never ever missed. If one was organized, I went in a snowstorm and I had to drive an hour, but I went to today. And then there were times when I couldn't make every single one. And then I started to conduct them myself. I prefer them in community, but and I don't know, I would say, before I met Grandmama Sin, and water walking, I became addicted to this the more, and I was fortunate to be in an area where they did water walks every single year, and in the community. My first one, can't really remember, but I did the first one, and this was not for me. I left after about an hour and a half. I said, I don't know what this is, but this is not for me. And it was pretty much the very first one that started in our community. And then the next year they did it. This was kind of outside my community. It was in Hiawatha was the very first one that I went to. And then the next one was in Scugog, and I lived on Lake Scugog. And this one, all my friends were there from the community. And it was a beautiful sunny day where the first one was pouring rain. And within 20 minutes, you were completely soaking wet, and it was like a 10-mile walk or something. It was quite a long, the path was quite long, and but it was the first one, and Josephine was there for that very first one that they did in Hiawatha there. So, and then once your heart is open to all of this, everything else, you attract what you need to attract, is what I found. Because then there was all these doors that opened up over here, over there. Grandmama Francine, she was part of that. I remember her taking me under her wing and accepting me and helping. She knew people who could help on the water walk, places to eat and places to sleep. And I felt very, very privileged to have her in my life and take care of me. So then I didn't see her for a few years, and somehow on Facebook I was able to connect. And even before I moved, we were connected there when we went to Charlotte Lake, right? I had no real intention of moving. That wasn't really in the cards, but COVID and a lot of different things, and everything happens for a reason. I know that was exactly how it went, is exactly the way it was supposed to go, and that I was supposed to come to this point and be a part of this circle and all the circles that I'm part of, because I know this is not just the only one. There's other ones, and I feel I'm very honored that you chose me to be a part of that. I always felt that was the biggest gift I could ever have gained was to be a part of something, and then moving closer is just kind of the bonus that happened. That and my move really didn't have anything to do with the circle being closer to the circle. It just fell into place like that. So yeah, and my heart now, if I don't have it, I'm so connected that when things don't go right, I know exactly what I need to do to flip that thing and make it the way it's supposed to be. And that's the greatest gift, is that connection that my heart has with all of creation. It's not just one part, it's all of it. My connection to the water, my connection to the land. And the more you're connected, or the more you stay connected, the more gifts and that come your way. It's like it's almost like you put your arms out and you want to grab everybody, and the more you do that, the more people grab you. And I'm so happy, and if I can contribute anything to your group, I feel so lucky to be able to do that. And all the women that I've come across are all beautiful, loving, supportive women, and I'm so grateful for that. I come from a family of women, and more women than men, and I don't even get that from my family anymore. So I feel so good that I have each and every one of you in this circle and in the extended circles. And my heart goes out, and I'm so thankful to everyone. Migwetch.
Thank you. Merci à toutes vous autres. Ça démontre bien qu'on est une belle communauté, puis même si on reste pas une proche de l'autre, ça démontre qu'on est capable quand même d'avoir ce sens communautaire-là à travers d'un organisme. Puis même sans l'organisme, on est quand même un cercle serré, mais moi, je suis reconnaissante pour chacune de vous. So thank you very much. And it just goes to show that, a group of women coming together can have that sense of community and work together, even if we don't live close. We can still accomplish great things. So thank you very much. So presentation and adoption of the financial statements. I'm going to share the screen. Good. Okay. So this is all in English, and I'm not going to go through like every little bit of things, all the writings and things. Just going to go to the, just going to, this a little bit here. Sorry. So our year end is March 31st, like most organizations. So all this is up to March 31st, 2024. So amount in bank 1,504, accounts receivable 427, prepaid expense 209, capital 750, total asset 22,887, and we have no debts. When you see the big difference between the 2023, well, I'm going to explain it down the road. So here, statement of income and expenditure. So donation. So in 2024 was 5,289. In 2023, 5,025. expenses, so website. So that was for like 2 years because I pay all the expense, and whenever we have some money, I just reimburse myself. Bank fees. So water walk expense. So because the year end ends March 2024, so this would be the walk that we did in August of 2023, just so you understand. So here we had received a big donation of one person at giving us $4,000 for the next walk. And that's why we end up with lots of money at the end of 2023. So water walk, 4,877. So 1 year we do a long walk, a month and a week, like between 4 to 6 weeks. And 1 year we do a 200-kilometer walk, which is 4 days. Women's Rites of Passage, $1,337. Traditional Vision Quest, $256. Earth Day Celebration, $76. And other expenses, $749. For a total expense of $7,808. And expense over income, $2,519. And like I said, we had received money from the previous year for the water walk, and that's why we have this excess expense over income. So this is just the same thing. So funding from donation, I've already went through that. So you don't need this. This is just analysis that we need to put on the okay. So accounts receivable, this amount $427. So when you do a GoFundMe, it takes months and months before you receive the money. So this GoFundMe, I had set it up for a water walk, and we walked, I think, in July, and we received the money in September. So at the end of the year, we had that amount, $427. I don't think I will ever do a GoFundMe. It happened the year before or 2 years prior, and we had no money in our bank account. So I had to take the money out of my bank account to pay for the water walk and wait for that money to come in, which took lots of months. So I don't recommend the GoFundMe. They take too long. So prepaid expense. We had an amount there is because I had already started spending money for the rites of passage, which happened only in June. But I had already started buying the gifts for the participants and thing in March. So that's why we had a prepaid expense. The capital, I think, $750. Well, what the organization owns is the water vessel for the water walk, the copper pail, which costs a little bit over $400, and the walking staff, which was another. Actually, the water vessel, I think, was $350, and walking staff was almost $400. So it was for a total of $750. Donations. Donations are usually from supporters for the water walk and the women's rites of passage. And the amount of donors, usually it's between $5 and $200. And many of the donations are anonymous, so I don't always know who gives us money. And sometimes we have a woman in particular, and I can say her name, Bonita. For the water walk, she usually organizes a fundraising day. And I do a water conference, and we raise people we have a bucket and people just put money. So that's one way that we do fundraising. Other than that, it's really just through Facebook, email, and people that follow us on we have a Facebook page just for the water walk. And most of the time the water comes in during the water walk. So sometimes we leave for the water walk with not too much, but I'm never worried. I know the money just comes in. So the water walk was from July 8th to August 5th. And the expense are lodging, gas, food, medical items. We need bandages, all that kind of stuff. And traditional medicine, which is, the tobacco and the sage we do every day. We do ceremony. And promotional expense would be not much, but just a few flyers, that I had printed and things like that. So the rites of passage, the expense for rites of passage, the rites of passage was June 2nd to June 4th. Again, that's in 2023 because it's part of our current year. So food, wood for the sacred fire, sacred medicine, gifts for the women and youth participating. The traditional vision quest, that one was in La Beauce. So it was the expense for food for the 2 feasts, for the fasters and the supporters, traditional medicine, traveling expenses to La Beauce in Quebec, where that first vision quest was done there. Earth Day celebration expense were flyers, small bags for the seeds. We had a seed exchange. So I had bought I think a package of 100 bags. So it was very minimal, these expenses that we had for the Earth Day. Other expenses is we had an Anishinabe Women's Council weekend. It was our first weekend to get organized. And I attended Indigenous Convention in Montreal. I do many convention and I don't usually put the expense through the organization, but this one was really, I was there to represent the Anishinaabe Sacred Circle. And that's why, and I didn't have a hotel to pay or anything. I think it was just expense for gas, and the convention itself, I think, was $250 to attend. So excess expense over income, like I said, we had already received the money the year before for the upcoming water walk. And we had one donor in particular that gifted $4,000. So do you have any questions? So I need proposal and adoption of the financial statement. Suzanne and Kim. Okay. Statement of activities. I think it's this one. Nope. Okay. This is done. Are you guys seeing all this? No, you're not. Hang on. I'm just closing the presentation. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with this. Presentation. So I just wanted to share some things that were changed in our constitution. So at our last board of directors meeting, and I hate calling it like that, I prefer calling it a council assembly. I've changed, I just want to specify that I've changed many words that were very colonial, and I sent those changes to Revenue Canada, and each one of them were accepted. That's why we do not do election. We do not do, we don't call our anything meeting. Everything is Cercle. And these terms were all approved by Revenue Canada. I sent that in when we first got incorporated. Donc, je voulais juste spécifier qu'on est un organisme traditionnel. On essaie de garder ça le plus traditionnel possible. Lorsque j'ai fondé l'organisation à but non lucratif avant de devenir charitable, j'ai fait une liste de mots à être remplacés qui ont été approuvés par Revenu Canada, style, comme on n'a pas d'élection, quand les femmes ils veulent démissionner, ils envoient une lettre, puis si on a besoin de remplacer, on demande à quelqu'un s'il veut remplacer. Il n'y a pas d'élection, il n'y a pas de secrétaire, de présidente, de vice-présidente. C'est pas comme ça qu'on fonctionne. Puis le terme meeting n'est pas utilisé non plus. Réunion, c'est pas utilisé dans nos documents, c'est toujours des cercles. Puis ces termes-là, ils ont tous été approuvés lorsqu'on a été incorporé. En passant, moi, je suis comptable à la retraite des incorporations. Moi, j'ai fait ça toute ma vie, fait que c'est pour ça que je connais un petit peu ça. I just want to let you know I'm a retired accountant, so I've done incorporation most of my life, and that's why I'm familiar with this. So, and at the board meeting, we did an amendment. On a fait un amendement à l'article 23. So, Article 23 said, the corporation is administered by a council composed of 7 active members duly elected by the Cercle. And ça a été changé par The corporation is administered by a council composed of maximum of 8 active members duly selected by the Cercle. Donc, ça a été changé pour, je vais vous le lire en français ensuite. Alors, on a fait un amendement qui a été proposé par Catherine Rose et secondé par Carole. Et ça a été approuvé unanimement. Ensuite de ça, nous avions décidé de la date de la AGA. The date for the annual General Assembly was also decided during that. The board circle, which to be today on November 30th at 4 o'clock. Donc, la date pour l'Assemblée générale annuelle a aussi été fixée et approuvée pendant le cercle du Conseil d'administration. The new board members were approved by the board on April 1st, and the resolution was read by Francine. Les nouveaux membres du conseil d'administration ont été approuvés. Donc, le conseil d'administration, l'année passée, il y avait moi, Kim et Carole. Et puis, cette année, on a rajouté, il y a Lauriane, Catherine Rose, Diana et Carole Briggs qui s'est rajoutée à nous autres, et Suzanne qui s'est rajoutée à nous autres. Ça faisait 8, donc c'est pour ça qu'on a fait un amendement à l'article 23. So, as of April 1st, we had new members joining us. Last year, we ended the year with myself, Carole, and Kim. And this year, we added Suzanne, Catherine Rose, Lauriane, Diana, and Carole Briggs, qui est pas avec nous autres aujourd'hui. Alors, it was proposed that a suggested membership contribution be between $20 and $50 per year, payable every year during the AGA. Il a été proposé que la contribution des membres suggérée, c'est mal écrit ça. Il a été suggéré que la contribution des membres se situe entre 20 et 50 $ par an, payable chaque année. Proposé par Catherine Rose, secondé par Francine. Alors, je vais juste changer le mot ici. Il a été de la contribution suggérée, c'est mal écrit. Hein? OK. Les membres se situent entre 20 et 50 $. Donc, ça, c'est une contribution suggérée. En tant qu'organisme charitable, on ne peut pas dire à nos membres, faut que tu payes, il faudrait faire un article, il faudrait envoyer, il faudrait que ce soit approuvé par Revenu Canada. C'est pas quelque chose que j'ai l'intention de faire. Donc, c'est juste une contribution suggérée que les membres payent une contribution entre 20 et 50 $ par année. So, as a charitable organization, we cannot enforce membership fees unless we would send a change in our constitution and send that to Revenue Canada, which I have no intention of doing. So we suggested an annual contribution from our members between $20 and $50. So it's a suggested amount, and nobody's going to be thrown out or anything if, if there's no money. But of course, we need money to run I see you guys laughing at me. I know we need money to run an organization. I have problem asking for money. Alors, je le sais qu'on a besoin, j'en vois quelques-unes sourire. Je le sais qu'on a besoin de l'argent pour être capable de garder une organisation, puis d'être capable aussi, parce que toutes nos activités sont gratuites. C'est toujours avec des suggestions de donations. Puis, sur 15 personnes qui viennent à une de nos activités, il y en a toujours 4-5 seulement qui contribuent. Donc, si on n'aurait pas des donations, on ne pourrait pas survivre. So, all of our activities are free. We always put a suggested donation, but out of maybe 15 to 20 participants, we have maybe between 4 and 5 people that contribute. And, and we need money to be able to survive and be able to offer these activities for free so that it's available for all women and men and young people. Le rapport financier, OK. Alors, ce que je vous ai montré tantôt, c'était l'argent qui était dans le compte de banque le 31 mars 2024, à la fin de notre année fiscale. Aujourd'hui, on a acheté du bois puis un livre de chèques. Ça prenait des chèques. Donc, la balance, en date d'aujourd'hui, c'était 1386,70. So the amount that you saw earlier was the year-end amount in the bank as of today, because since year-end we purchased wood and for the lodge, and I had to buy a checkbook thing because I had never bought it before. They don't print them for free anymore. So our new balance on today is $1,386.70. Sorry, 1,386.70. So during our board of directors, our council, we also spoke about fundraising activities for the year. So we had a fundraising brainstorming circle with the council on Monday, November 25th, and many ideas were put together, such as benefit Sugar Shack breakfast coming up in the spring. A few fundraising drumming circle over the year will also be organized. We are still developing other sources of funding, so our work on this matter is just beginning. Nous avons eu un cercle de remue-ménage sur la collecte de fonds avec le Conseil lundi le 25 novembre et de nombreuses idées ont été rassemblées, telles qu'un déjeuner bénéfice qui va être organisé au printemps, style cabane à sucre, des cercles, peut-être un ou deux cercles de tambours, un cercle de tambours collecte de fonds. Ils vont aussi seront également organisés au cours de l'année. Puis nous sommes encore à élaborer d'autres sources de financement. Nous sommes aussi à organiser un camp de jeunes pendant l'été. We are also organizing right now, we are in the process of organizing a youth camp for this summer. So I just want to go to the expenses after March 31st, 2024, which were the expense for the other, for all the activities that happened after year end, because the one you saw were for last year. So this year's rites of passage was $737.15. The rites of the fast was $678.14. Our water walk, which was a 4-day water walk this year, was $1,613. And the recital was $1,537.06. Donc, les dépenses que vous avez vues tantôt, c'était pour l'année passée parce que notre année fiscale se termine le 31 mars. Donc, cette année, on l'a perdu, Sandy. OK. Les rites de passage, ça a coûté 737,15. Le jeûne, 678,14. La marche de l'eau, 1,600,13. Cette année, c'était la marche de l'eau de 4 jours. Et le récital, 1,537,6. Je n'ai pas encore calculé les dépenses pour la dernier événement qu'on a eu, qui était le rassemblement des gardiens de la sagesse. I didn't tally up the expenses yet for the gathering of the wisdom keepers that we just had a few months ago. I didn't get to that yet. So what's coming up? So what's coming up? Well, we really would like to organize that benefit breakfast in March. Then we have the, there's Sandy. Allô, Sandy? On s'est dit, on a perdu Sandy.
Oui, la connexion Internet Cogeco, c'était pas vraiment merveilleux aujourd'hui.
Alors, on a juste mentionné un peu ce qui a été fait. Puis là, je vais juste nommer les activités à venir pour l'année en cours. Ben, l'année en cours. Notre année fiscale finit le 31 mars, puis la plupart de nos activités commencent après le mois de mars, donc ça ne sera probablement pas pour l'année en cours, mais pour l'année fiscale, pas l'année fiscale, mais l'année du calendrier qui s'en vient. Alors, au mois de mars, comme je disais, on veut vraiment organiser un déjeuner bénéfique en lien avec la Lune des sucres. Alors, on est encore à organiser ça. On a quelqu'un dans le comité qui est en train de regarder ça. Il va y avoir le jeûne au mois de mai. Il va y avoir les rites de passage au mois de juin. Il va y avoir la marche de l'eau au mois de juillet. Il va y avoir le récital des femmes Anishinabe au mois d'août. Puis on veut faire aussi un camp de jeunes quelque temps pendant les mois d'été, au moins une semaine pour cette année. C'est toutes des choses qu'on est en train de regarder. So, what's coming up this year? For the calendar year, because our fiscal year ends on March 31st. So, we have in March, we want to do a benefit Sugar Shack style breakfast for the Sugar Moon. And then we'll have the fast and the rites of passage, the water walk in July, the recital of the Anishinaabe Women's Council in August. And we also want to do a youth camp 1 week during the summer sometime. And in between that, of course, we have Earth Day celebration and World Water Day and other little things, but I'm just giving you the bigger event. Je vous nomme juste les plus gros événements parce que bien sûr, nous avons aussi le jour international de l'eau, le jour de la terre. C'est toutes des activités qu'on fait. Nos activités sont toujours gratuites, c'est ouvert à tous. Je pense que c'est important de le dire. I think it's important to say that all of our activities are open to all. I think it's important. We have some activities that are strictly open to women, and that would be the rites of passage, and that's the only thing. Il y a juste les rites de passage qui est seulement ouvert aux femmes. Toutes nos autres activités, c'est ouvert à tous. Aux femmes, aux hommes, aux jeunes, aux aînés, c'est ouvert à tout le monde. So all of our activities is open to all, except for the rites of passage, that's only for women. OK. Alors, est-ce que vous avez des questions sur les états financiers, sur les activités? J'ai-tu oublié quelque chose, le conseil? Allô? OK, Bill. Est-ce qu'on a... oui, Catherine Rose?
Well, I was just thinking, my head is, I'm always thinking.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, what I feel we don't have is a family day. And I just thought we could have a family day because, there's some women that can't come because they have their younger children, whatever, they're not able to. Fait que, tu sais, une journée de la famille, ça va peut-être inclure des gens qui d'habitude peuvent pas venir. Et en même temps, peut-être ça va être la chance pour les femmes d'introduire ça à leur chum ou leur mari. They might have the chance to introduce that to their husband or their boyfriend, because usually the women, they're very game for circles and ceremony, but not always the men. So, tu sais, je pense que ça peut être quelque chose d'intéressant. Une journée de la famille, puis je ne sais pas quand, puis ça peut être très simple, quelque chose où on va juste chanter, jouer, tu sais, avoir un feu, tu sais, quelque chose de très simple. Something very simple, singing.
Je pense style Winter Carnival, parce que, tu sais, à l'hiver, on fait pas beaucoup de choses.
Ah, peut-être.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Because, the summer, we're always so
busy.
Many things, but winter, sometimes people just need something, I know in Ontario, there's already one family day, the first Monday of February, I believe, or the second Monday of February, I don't remember. In Quebec, I don't think they have such a thing.
No, we have it in the summer. We have a
okay,
family day in the
but
summer.
we can set our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea. Okay. We'll put that on our agenda for our next board. Yeah. On va mettre ça. Alors, Catherine Rose, elle propose une journée familiale. Je trouve que c'est une bonne idée. On va mettre ça sur notre agenda pour notre prochaine rencontre du Conseil, comme ça, oui. Puis quand tu as mentionné ça, Catherine Rose, ça me fait penser à quelque chose. Puis là, ben, je l'ai perdu. Ça va revenir. I know you made me think about something when you talked about Family Day, and I forgot. Yeah, I love it. I love the Family Day thing. Oui. Puis après même être en concert avec notre youth camp, il pourrait avoir une journée là-dedans qui pourrait être pour la famille aussi. OK. En tout cas, toutes des idées. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un d'autre qui veut rajouter quelque chose avant qu'on passe au prochain point? Si vous avez des questions. Sandy, vu que c'est ta première fois, as-tu des questions?
Non, pas vraiment. Ça me rappelle vraiment le format des mess meetings.
Des quoi?
Les meetings de mess qu'on faisait sur la base militaire.
OK.
Qui avait le quorum, puis le protocole est sensiblement le même, fait que je suis pas perdue du tout.
Ouais, non, c'est ça. Il faut quand même si on a changé bien des choses avec Revenu Canada, on a quand même des protocoles qu'on doit suivre. Pas nécessairement qu'on veut suivre, mais qu'on doit suivre. Si on veut garder notre enregistrement, ouais, t'as bien raison. You know, sometimes we have to follow certain protocol, even if we don't want to. But we are a registered organization with Revenue Canada, and they really decide on many things, even though we did change many things that I was really happy that they approved. But it's up to us to make our own changes, and yeah, and yeah, there are protocols for sure. Thanks. Oui, je le sais ce que j'ai pensé, Catherine Rose, quand tu pensais. Il y a quelque chose que je veux vraiment apporter cette année, puis je voulais en parler, je voulais pas en parler au board, je voulais vraiment en parler à l'AGA, puis c'est human trafficking. So I went to Fort McMurray this year, and I could not believe all the posters, all the publicities everywhere about human trafficking in every restaurant, in every like train station, the airport, bus depot, everywhere we went, there was posters. And I did not have a chance to look into it, but they have posters already. It's I believe it's a yellow rose, and it is in our mission. It's in our objective. We have human trafficking there, and it's something that we had talked about before. And this is really. I used to be very involved with human trafficking, and ever since I stopped going to colonize First Nation organization, I'm going to name it this way. I haven't been involved anymore. So this is really something that I really, really want each and every one of you to think about. And if you have any contacts, any suggestion, but there is something that exists, and I want to look into finding those posters. And I think that we should, because Fort McMurray may be they have more, but there's a lot of human trafficking here in Ottawa and around. So I think it's very important. And one of our missions is to take care of women and youth. And I think human trafficking sure enters into that. Je vais le répéter en français, Sandy, puis après ça, je te reviens. Alors, oui, pendant que Catherine a parlé de jour familial, c'est ça qui m'était venu à l'idée. Dans nos objectifs, on mentionne la traite des humains. Puis moi, c'est quelque chose qui me tient beaucoup à cœur. C'est dans nos objectifs. J'ai déjà été très impliquée avec la traite des humains, mais depuis que je ne participe plus aux organismes Premières Nations colonialisées, je ne suis plus vraiment au courant de ce qui se passe. Mais je suis allée à Fort McMurray cette année, puis j'étais épatée de voir des enseignes partout où je suis allée, dans les aéroports, dans les restaurants, des autobus, des taxis. Il y avait des annonces partout, c'est des gros posters, puis je pense que c'est une rose jaune, si je me rappelle. Ben, il y a sûrement un organisme qui a ça, qui organise ça. Il faudrait que je regarde ou que quelqu'un se porte volontaire, mais oui, mais je veux pas juste me concentrer sur Indigenous, par exemple. Oui, je le sais, mais je veux vraiment human trafficking en l'ensemble, là. Mais oui, on doit absolument, ça je le sais, oui. Mais oui. En tout cas, c'est quelque chose que je veux vraiment qu'on mette à l'agenda. Je sais qu'on a déjà beaucoup sur notre assiette, mais ça, c'est quelque chose que j'aimerais peut-être qu'on fasse. Il y a une journée, une semaine qui est dédiée à ça. Puis si je me rappelle bien, c'est dans le cadre de la journée de la robe rouge. There's a day, I know we used to do it on Red Dress Day, that we used to do a thing. And I think that, either we organize a live circle to talk about it. It could be during our Tuesday night Zoom. But I want to do something human trafficking in Canada. Faut juste que je regarde. Je suis certaine qu'ils ont des posters. Moi, je vais aller en mettre partout, là, si j'en trouve, tu sais. So anyway, ça, c'est une des choses que je veux vraiment regarder, que j'attendais à ce soir pour en parler. Oui, Catherine Rose.
Non, oui, je voulais juste dire que c'est très important parce que c'est même important pour les enfants de voir les posters pour comprendre qu'il y a ce danger-là, you know, that there's this danger because apparently it happens everywhere. It's not just like you said, it's happening everywhere.
Oui.
And sometimes children don't understand the danger they're putting themselves into, especially at adolescence. You know,
Oui.
from 13 to let's say 17, 18, sometimes they're at big risk. So
Oui.
I would say yes, and maybe we could even find out about if we could put some of these posters in the schools or in the, you know, places like that or in after school programs or whatever. You know, we could
Oui.
maybe even go talk at an after school program. I don't know.
Oui.
Yeah, it's
Non,
very important.
Oui, absolument. Puis c'est une de nos missions, puis je pense qu'il faut regarder à ça un petit peu plus de près là, pendant l'année, là. Yes, Sandy. Oui, Sandy.
Oui, ici à Kingston, on est considéré comme une plaque tournante du trafic humain à cause de notre situation géographique. On est très proche de la frontière. On est à une place qui est pas trop loin de Toronto non plus. Donc, c'est facile de faire disparaître des femmes, des filles et même maintenant des garçons. Parce que le human trafficking, c'est pas juste les femmes et les filles, c'est aussi les jeunes garçons, parce que, bon, les prédateurs, ils sont partout. Moi, j'avais écrit un programme à monter dans le communautaire au printemps dernier, justement sur le human trafficking. Fait que j'ai fait un peu le tour, justement, en moi, le trafic humain au Canada. C'était pas juste autochtone, mais il y avait une grosse partie autochtone parce que pour donner une idée, ici à Kingston, sur le human trafficking qui a été identifié, 67% sont des Autochtones. Alors, oui, c'est une grosse portion. Puis, je pense que le plus gros outil qui peut fonctionner, c'est la prévention, mais pas juste au niveau des enfants et des adolescents, des jeunes femmes comme telles, mais aussi au niveau des parents. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de parents qui pensent que ça arrive juste aux autres. Puis ça arrive juste à ceux qui sont pauvres. Mais c'est pas vrai du tout. Ils ont fait des statistiques, puis ça touche vraiment tout le monde. Peu importe la classe sociale, peu importe la condition, que les parents soient riches ou pauvres. C'est incroyable comment que ces gens-là qui gèrent ce réseau-là peuvent manipuler les jeunes. C'est assez incroyable.
Et merci, Sandy. Je pense que je me rappelle quand j'étais impliquée avec Minwashin, on faisait la journée du trafic humain, on le faisait le 5 mai, le jour de la robe rouge. Et je pense que je vais essayer de faire quelque chose pour cette date-là, là, soit un cercle ou quelque chose là, pour en parler aussi, puis essayer de... Ouais, c'est ça. C'est important. It's very important. And when I was involved with Minwashin, it used to be, we used to do actually it was a whole week around Red Dress Day. And we were doing, okay, merci. Oui, Diana. And then we're just gonna proceed.
Hi. That's a very good point. I like the ideas about the human trafficking because exactly it is becoming such a terrible issue. We had previous discussions about making cups. Perhaps we can make a cup on that theme. And also, I don't know, like if it was happened here, but I remember when I was a child, we would have these houses with a hand poster or something in it. And if we were being bullied, that was considered a safe house and we could go get help there. Now, in today's world, I'm not sure if that would be feasible anymore. I don't know if that even occurred here or if it was stopped. I don't even know if it's continuation. However, if it's not acceptable on the individual level, what about businesses? Certain businesses, maybe we could convince them to put like a helping hand or some sort of signal that we come up with to signify that, you know, if you're feeling that you're having a predator after you or something, that you can go there and, get some help. It's just thoughts. But yeah, it's like it's becoming so bad. And so I can't even, it just breaks my heart. Migwetch.
Migwetch. OK, alors, c'est toutes des choses dans la liste des activités à venir qu'on voulait amener. Maintenant, on est rendu au point Varia, acceptation des nouveaux membres, acceptance of new members. So we have only one person here that's not part of the council. So, Samedi, did you want to be a member of it does not put you on the board, but just as a member of the organization? Is that something that interests you?
Je serais honorée de faire partie des membres.
Alors, est-ce qu'on accepte Sandy Pratt comme nouveau membre de l'organisme? Catherine Rose, Kim, à l'unanimité.
Migwetch.
Migwetch, à toi, merci. On peut peut-être t'inviter à faire partie d'un des comités, peut-être sur le human trafficking, vu que tu as déjà fait du travail là-dessus. Merci. Puis à toutes vous autres qui sont en train de visionner la vidéo, parce que vous n'avez pas pu venir pour n'importe quelle raison. Si vous êtes intéressé à devenir membre, ben, vous devez m'envoyer un message, puis je dois passer ça au prochain conseil d'administration pour faire l'acceptation. Il faut suivre ces procédures-là. Alors, tout le monde est bienvenu à vouloir se joindre au cercle. Qu'est-ce que ça l'importe? Ça l'importe que venir à l'AGA. On n'a pas, nous autres, le board, on a bien des meetings, mais des fois, on peut avoir besoin de former un sous-comité. Peut-être qu'il y a des gens qui ont des qualifications de quelque chose qui voudraient nous aider avec quelque chose. So what does it imply to become? So for all of you that are watching this video and are interested in becoming a member, so it's not a member of the board, it's a member of the organization with no voting privileges, I guess, but we don't do voting anyway, but this is, I have to say it that way, I guess. So if you are interested in becoming a member, you need to send us an email. And I need to bring that to the next board meeting and we need to approve. That's the proper procedure. And what does that imply? Well, we only have one General Assembly per year unless we have something drastic coming up and we need to call a meeting. If one of the members calls upon a meeting, a Cercle, I should say. And maybe we have so many things coming up. Maybe we would like to form some subcommittee to help us out. And that could be another option too for the member of the organization. So, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. S'il n'y a rien d'autre chose, on peut lever l'Assemblée. Je vous remercie beaucoup de votre temps. I thank you very much for your time. And we could close the assembly if there's nothing else. S'il n'y a rien d'autre chose, on peut lever l'assemblée. Alors, Diana, on lève l'assemblée à 17h15. 5h15, we close the assembly. Alors, je vais arrêter l'enregistrement. Alors, merci beaucoup d'avoir participé. Puis merci à toutes celles et ceux qui vont nous écouter.